Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today, we have a WIP Chat. If you do not know what a WIP Chat is, that is when I work on my current work in progress, or WIP. In this case, it is the Besties of Oz from Sherri. And then you work on whatever it is that you want to be working on. It can be another craft project. It can be while you're driving. Always safety first. It can be while you're at work. It can be while you're at home doing home stuff. You know, whatever. There's no right way or wrong way to WIP Chat. Before I get into it, a few boring housekeeping tips. My husband is in the room. He is working, so you will definitely hear husband noises if you haven't already. Say hi, husband.
Hello.
And my tiny human is very much awake, so you will hear her, for sure, singing the song of her people in the background. So, if you are new here, hi, welcome. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Where did my pen go? So, I've got a bunch of stuff happening on my desk right now because, what the hell? Alright, well, I really don't know what happened to the pen that I've been using. If you guys are new here and you're probably like, this chick is so all over the place. Yes, I am. I actually took everything off my desk yesterday to film a couple other videos, which they won't go up till after this one goes up. I usually film my WIP Chats. Where the hell did my other pens go?
In your butt?
No. I usually film my other WIP Chats on, like Sunday. I try, but that didn't happen. I feel like that's not accurate either, but I feel like I might have to pause this video in a moment and find the pen that I've been using. Are you guys people who like to use multiple pens when you work? Because I am. I usually have one with a larger multi-placer. Like this one is a 10? 10. Sometimes I'll have a 10, a 7, and a 4 out on my desk. Whatever works for me in that moment. Is this the right color? Yep.
Aren't you an odd numbers person?
I am. I do prefer odd numbers. But, okay, so my husband just threw that curveball into me here. I am one of those people, like, I like my volume to be at an odd number, things like that. It's not something that, like, if you leave it on an even number, I'm going to have to, like, go behind your back and change it. But I definitely prefer things on odd settings.
I'm an even number.
Yeah, exactly. My husband's an even setting. But in terms of, like, multi-placers, I find the 4 is most useful for, like, everyday stuff. And then I find the 10 is a good size for a larger multi-placer. These are all personal opinions, you guys. So, like, if you don't agree, let me know down below. But I find that 10 is a number that is easier for me to count out, like, using part of my multi-placer, or it's more used, I think, when they lay drills, when they make the patterns. But anyway, so I am definitely a couple days behind on my WIP Chat, and so you'll probably end up with 2 this week. You know, I was tagged by Suzette over at Crafting with Susie, and I think that I'll do that as my second half WIP Chat this week, since I just am going to have to do 2. I don't know. But keep your eyes peeled, so that's coming. I filmed a couple unboxings last night, so we've got some of those coming up. I'm going to do a post review, I think. Do you guys want to see a post review on Milky Way Galaxy? I don't know if anyone even cares. I think most people expect that when you do a Diamond Art Club, like, your post review is basically going to be like, it was great. The adhesive was great. The drills were great. The end. So I don't know. Which is not that far off from what I'd be saying. Spoiler alert. There's my kiddo, if you can hear her. She's had an eventful day already.
This day's been a week.
Yes, this day has been a week. All of those are off there. That was good. Anyway, so let me tell you guys about last week. So I think the last I updated you guys was on Disney on Ice, which Disney on Ice has already emailed my father to say, hey, we're coming back to town in December. And what did he say to my daughter? Do you want to go back to Disney on Ice? And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I loved it. But it was a long day, you know? And, I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling it's also going to be Christmas themed, which, like, my mom would love. Okay, so fun fact, if you guys don't know, I don't celebrate Christmas. My mother is one of those people that loves Christmas music. Like, year round, it does not matter. She loves Christmas music. And, so I think if that's what the theme is, like, her and my daughter are gonna be like, yay, Mickey singing Christmas songs. Anyway, I hope it's actually more of like a show, like what we saw. So
I could see it being a holiday.
Yeah, but I don't really.
I don't think it'll be just Christmas. I think it'll incorporate.
Yeah, but I don't really like. I don't want to go see like holiday songs. I want to see like Disney songs. Anyway, that's not the point. Let's get into our week. So, you're actually going to hear a lot about my mom and my dad this week because it was both of their birthdays, and my mom had a pretty big milestone birthday. And my mom is the youngest of all of the grandparents. The other three grandparents were all born in the same year. So they're all turning the same age this year. And then my mom's like the baby. And, so let's see. What do we do this week? So on last Tuesday, we went and had an ice skating lesson. And our regular instructor wasn't there, and we were not on our regular ice. And I was like, this is interesting. Of course, we go to ice skating today, because I am filming this on a Tuesday. My goal, and I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but my goal is to film this today, and then get it processed and edited so that you guys will see it tonight. So, let's see if Editing Lindsay and my Wi-Fi can do what it needs to do. Anyway, so, we had Miss Cookie, who is the beginner instructor, and this young girl teaching our class last week. Miss Morgan, thank you. I could not remember her name.
I'm horrible. But
yeah.
She looked like my friend's sister growing up.
Whose name was Morgan?
Morgan, yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
So, that was interesting because we were on the other rink. So the place we go has two rinks. Usually we go to the rink on the other side, and the hockey camp is on the side we were on. So the layout was different, and it was super humid in there, and it was really hard to see the kids on the ice because the ice was fogged. Anyway, we pull up today, and it was one of those days that, like, I woke up this morning, and I'm like, man, I am tired today. And then it dawned on me, like, 10 minutes before we had to leave, that, oh my God, it's Tuesday. And, like, we knew this is going to be a breakfast in the car day. So I got a really cute bento box from Amazon on, I want to say it was on Prime Day. And it's perfect for that. I can put in a couple little things so that even if she doesn't want to eat, like, we had waffles this morning. Even if she doesn't want to eat the waffles, I can put some string cheese and some pretzels and some fruit and a couple different things in there. And it's easy to take on the go. All right. So we did that. And I told her, under no uncertain circumstances, like, if you don't eat this, we're going to just sit, we're going to go home. And my husband's like, we're going to sit in the parking lot. And I'm like, cool, we're going to sit in the parking lot. So we didn't end up getting in there until, like, I don't even know how far into the lesson. Because she was just refusing. And so that was fun. But, I don't know why I'm telling you guys about today's lesson instead of last week's lesson. But anyway, we found out that our normal instructor had surgery. And it sounds like, from the way everybody's responding, that this was a very much an emergency surgery, because now they're telling us, oh, you know, you guys, how do you feel about switching to the Thursday session or the Monday night session? And I'm like, not great, guys, not great at all. Thursday is right during her nap, and Monday is at night. So I don't really want to take my kid at night to go ice skating. Personal opinion, my kid's a total nightmare after her nap time. I mean, in the case of today, she's also a nightmare today during the day. But anyway, so I don't know, and we have plans for next week, so if they do switch us to Thursday, like, we won't even be here, so that sucks. But anyway, that was Tuesday, and that was today, I guess, as well. But last week was a pretty eventful week. We also went to, there is this children's museum nearish to us, and I'm going to be kind of vague on, like, telling you guys where I'm going for things, because, like, while most people on the internet are super cool and they just want to know what I'm doing, like, I don't want to give out my exact location and having, like, you know, let's keep some things to ourselves. I mean, if you live near-ish to me and you know that and you're curious where I went, just shoot me a DM. But anyway, we went to this museum. It was a kids museum, and everything is meant to be touched. It's a lot of STEM-based, a lot of science-based, or sensory-based and science-based. It's a fantastic place. My husband and I had season passes that were gifted to us for Briar's second birthday. Yeah. And then COVID hit, and we didn't get to utilize it much, which is very unfortunate. But we went with a friend of ours and her husband and their son and daughter, who oddly enough have the same names as our niece and nephew. And it didn't dawn on me until, like, the day before. I was like, I just put two and two together. But her son is autistic, and he is nonverbal. He can talk. He's just not conversational. And I was trying to explain the best I could to my daughter, not like what to expect, but just to know that, you know, he's a little bit different than you without saying he's a little bit different than you. So I just let her know, you know, Jack may not answer you if you ask him a question, but he might. And just remember that every kid talks differently. Some people talk when they're young. Some people don't talk at all. Some people talk with their hands. She's very proud of herself. If you guys ever see her out, like, in public and ask her to say peanut butter in sign language, she'll do it like 1,000 times for you. She's super proud of herself for that. So, yeah, we are. So we, you know, we could see that she was trying to talk to him, and they're just a few months apart, so they're the same age. And I could see that I think she thought she was doing something wrong because she was asking him a question and he wasn't answering. And he was enjoying himself, and a lot of the time was spent where, like, they would each independently go do their thing, but then she would come back to update him on whatever she was playing with, or say, do you want to come over here, or whatever. And I can tell you that even though they couldn't formally, and I say that with air quotes because I don't know what the proper term to use here is, communicate with each other, they both made a huge impact on each other. Because I know the next day his mom said he was watching Sesame Street and he said, me, Rye are best friend. And it melted my heart that he connected to her, and she's been talking nonstop about him and wanting to have another play date and going to do more stuff. And then today it was funny, she wanted a Spider-Man toy, and he wears a face shield that's connected to a Spider-Man hat. So I thought, oh my god, my daughter's being so sweet and she wants to get this toy for him. And I go, well, who's the Spider-Man toy for? And she goes, it's for me, mommy. And I was like, oh, way to burst my bubble. It was funny because my husband thought the same thing too. And we thought we were going to have this super sweet moment. And then she was like,
bush who it's for.
It's
finally
me.
I'm like, is it for Jack? And she's like, no, it's for me.
Yeah, so.
Little bastard.
She's such a pain in the ass sometimes. But we did that, and then we went to lunch. And
if you would have said for Jack, we probably would have went right there and got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because it's such a sweet gesture.
It was such a sweet gesture. And she doesn't even realize it. She has a whole box of things that him and his mom have picked up for her downstairs, but she doesn't even realize it. That's fine. But they were so sweet together. And she started writing a blog. So if you guys are interested in her awesome AU life, I will link that down below in the description. I'm trying to figure out what my kid's saying. Oh, sorry, you guys. I just hit the wire. But anyway, so that was that. And then we went to lunch. And the kids, I thought, did surprisingly well. We definitely had a waitress that had no idea what was going on. Like, they ordered burger specials, and they were supposed to be 50% off, and the lady's like, yeah, that's not accurate right now. And they're like, you told us to scan the QR code, and literally it came up as that day of the week, this is the special. So how is it not? Anyway, it was a weird situation. They had to double charge my credit card, which was very strange to me, and then cancel it. And they're like, oh, well, you're not going to be charged. And I have checked my bank account, and I didn't get double charged for it. But when I told them when we sat down, this is 2 separate checks, they never split it. They wait till the end. So for some reason, because of that, they had to cancel my first credit card transaction so they could redo the bill with the 50% off for them and then split the bill. And I'm like, why didn't you just split the bill in the beginning? I don't know. I don't know that girl knew exactly what she was doing. Like, we had been to this restaurant before, and they do free, it's like almost like a fruit salad plate for little kids. And I had to ask them if they were still doing it. And she was like, oh yeah, did you want that? No, I was just asking for the hell of it. Of course I'm asking because I wanted it. It's free, and it's fruit and a garlic knot. Like, who doesn't want I mean, even if my kid wasn't going to eat it, I would eat it. You know what I mean? But anyway, we did that, and, okay, hold on. Sorry. So, our kid is, being real defiant today, and my husband needed to tell her to, like, knock it off and lay down. And I figured instead of you guys sitting here listening to us go back and forth with her, I would just pause the video for a second. So if that seemed super disjointed, it probably was. The best is he's like, I'm going to need you to lay down and take a nap. And she, not even exaggerating, goes, no, I don't want to. Well, kid, that's not how this works. Like, go to sleep.
I think I was given options.
Yeah, well, she's such a pain. Anyway, so this restaurant was definitely one of those experiences. Like, this was a destination restaurant for my husband and I, like, pre-COVID. The food was not great. The service was not great. And I understand, like, if you guys have seen, I did, like, a whole video ramble on the hospitality industry. But it's just one of those things that the hostess was really sweet and time efficient, and like the food runners seemed to know what they were doing. It just seemed like our waitress specifically was totally lost, which, you know, like my husband said, she could have been new, it could have been, you know, they're a little rusty, whatever it may be. It turned out that the food wasn't great, the situation wasn't great, but the company was great, so it made it all worth it. We ended up having such a long day and loved every single second of it. And B is so ready to have another play date, and I'm excited for them because they don't live super close to us, but it's worth the drive to have, like, our kids be socialized with each other and to provide a sense of normalcy to both of them, really. I mean, my kid hasn't had a formal play date in a very long time because of COVID. And then, you know, his mom and I were talking, and, you know, she wants to make sure he has as normal of an upbringing as he can, and it not be something that other parents hinder their children from enjoying his company because he's different. And she messaged me that night, and she's like, I can't thank you guys enough for treating my son like a human being. And I was like, he is a human being. And it just broke my heart because you could see that that family just does not have the level of support that they deserve to have. Everybody deserves to be supported in whatever it is that they're doing, and it broke my heart. And I'm so glad that we've connected, and that the mom and I are really close, and you seem to get along pretty well with her husband. It was just overall a really lovely day, and it was it warmed everybody's heart there to just see the kids playing and interacting. And she also has a newborn, and she is so freaking cute. And this table of like old ladies came over, and they're like, we're just gonna stand here and stare. And she's like, okay. I mean, I get it. Her daughter has like rolls on rolls on rolls, and it's amazing because we never had that. Our daughter has never had an ounce of fat on her. Like, she has this teeny tiny little belly, but it's just like the way her body's built. Like, she's so skinny mini, and it was just funny. I mean, she's a little chunk, and I love it. But so we did that on Wednesday, and that was so much fun. And then Thursday was my mom's actual birthday, and we did a family Zoom, and my brother he didn't have a camera. My brother is a super tech guy, and he didn't have a working camera, and I'm like, pretty sure that you used to stream on Twitch, so I know you have a webcam, and also you have a cell phone, and he's like, oh, my front facing camera's broken, and I'm like, sure it is.
So we hear on catfish all
Yeah, exactly. Well, I even said that in the video chat. I was like, is Logan trying to catfish us? But anyway, so that was nice. We had all the siblings were on the Zoom, and my one brother and I are the only ones that live in the same state as my parents. He lives much closer to my parents. He actually lives like 10, 15 minutes from them. I live an hour and a half away from them. But it was really nice to have it, to see my sister, to see my nephew, to see my brothers, just to see everyone. And when I went down for Disney on Ice, my dad's like, I'm going to need you to show me how I can send the Zoom link out. So I did, and then my dad decided to change the time, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope he knows how to do this. And then my other brother was like, well, I can't get on because it says there's already a meeting in progress. I'm like, yeah, because you're clicking the old email. I have too many email. I'm like, oh my God, dude, look at the one from Dad, the second one from Dad. And he's like, what? Eventually he got on. I swear, for my brothers both being super tech savvy, like, I was like, are you guys serious right now? Like, is this real life? I am the least tech savvy of all of them, and I was the one doing the most. Although I will say, I got on, and I guess I had played around with the filter function. And I could not for the life of me figure out how to turn it off. And I was stuck like in space. So here I am, there's my face, and then the whole background is Galaxy. But because of the filter, it wasn't recognizing my daughter. So I'm sitting there, my daughter's trying to get on camera. Nobody can see her, you guys. If ever there were an example of me being a total hot mess express, that was it. That was it. I'm a hot mess in my everyday life. I'm always a hot mess. I'm lucky if I know which direction I'm going. Here, there, everywhere, whatever. But anyway, so that was fun. And then Friday, my husband was getting a little bit done, so I hung out with the baby downstairs, and we had a little like mommy and me morning, and it was super sweet. And we haven't had a whole lot of one-on-one time because, I mean, prior to COVID, I always had one-on-one time with her because I was home with her every single day. And then when my husband was off, he was with us, but there was a lot of time, and I could see she really enjoyed just like hanging out. And she, like, if I take a shower during the day, she hangs out with Daddy, and she loves all of that too. And, it makes it a little bit unfortunate that we would love to do more of this, like, one-on-one type of stuff with her, but we have to be very careful about what we do because of COVID and things. And we're really trying to, whether it's smart or not, and that's not even you know, an up for debate thing. Like, try to get a bunch of stuff in before COVID gets really bad again and shuts down things that we would have access to. Because I don't want to spend another winter and fall in our house, missing all the birthdays, missing all the like, I want her to have that time. And I know that if she ends up off the waiting list and gets into school, that she's going to be interacting with people a lot more. So, we did that, and then we went to that pizza place that we got the wrong orders from the last time. The orders were right this time. And honestly, like, I think I enjoyed the mistake pizza better than the one I ordered. But that was fun. And Briar cried because she thought we were going to eat inside of a restaurant. And my husband kept saying, no, I'm just going to pick up dinner. And I want to go with Daddy. I'm like, we are going with Daddy. I want to go inside. I'm like, no, kid. She every day keeps wanting to do more. And I'm like, sometimes, kiddo, when you do a lot, you have to relax. And also, like, my husband and I have no desire to do a different thing every single day of the week for the rest of our lives, forever and ever. Like, we both need some downtime and just decompressing time. But clearly she doesn't, because she's like, I'm ready to go. Which, oddly enough, today, it was really funny. She's like, I want to go somewhere. And we've been doing, like, grabbing lunch and sometimes running errands after her ice skating because of the time of day, and she's usually hungry. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, my husband will say she is really good at making something seem like it was her, what?
She'll make her idea seem like it was your idea.
Yeah. So she's like, I get that new orange dog? Which, for those who don't know, I'm going to translate that. Means she wants Zuma from Paw Patrol. But she wanted me to be like, oh, you want Zuma from Paw Patrol? So she could go, yeah!
Yeah, okay.
Maybe later. And I was like, Briar, you are not getting Zuma from Paw Patrol. I want Zuma. I want the orange dog. And I'm like, oh my God. She keeps thinking that if we go to a store, that it's an automatic that we buy her something. And I'm like, that's not the way this works, girlfriend. So anyway, that was a nice little tangent, but, I don't think we did anything Saturday. I think we just kind of hung around. We may have, and I just can't remember. And then Sunday was my mom's big birthday party. And when I say big birthday party, there were, I think, 19 people there. And I was related to almost all of them. So my mom was there, and it was my mom's birthday party, but it was my dad's actual birthday. So it was really nice to see both of my parents. I saw my brother for the first time since it was either Briar's second birthday or like Thanksgiving after her birthday. So pretty much almost 2 years. And I have a really bad glare. So if you guys are actually watching this and you're seeing me move around, it's because I'm trying to see if I missed any of that color over here. There's a lot of color blocking in this top section. This is, if you guys are looking, this is the rainbow right here, and then this is the sky. So it's a lot of blue, and then there's a lot of pink under this part, and then the rainbow here. So yeah. But anyway, so we drove down to the area my parents live in, and my dad rented a room at a really nice restaurant. My daughter was the belle of the ball. She wore a sequin twirl dress, and she had a bow in her hair and a beautiful necklace. And she was just loving every single second of all the attention being on her. And it was great because, like, I saw my cousins for the first time in a while. They hadn't seen her. Nobody's really seen Briar since, like, around her second birthday. And everyone that was there had taken precautions. Everybody had been vaccinated. Obviously not my child because she's 3. We all wore masks. to go into the party. And then, like, when we sat at our table to eat, I took mine off because, well, I'm in a restaurant situation. And it was really, really lovely. And the food was fantastic. I'm talking, like, top notch. And I learned on Sunday that my daughter has really expensive taste in food. My brother, my husband, my daughter, and I split all of the side dishes and appetizers. And they had the hors d'oeuvres that were placed on the table. So you had filet sandwiches, like filet sliders, a whole tray of them. And then lobster tempura lollipops, which were these chunks of lobster tempura'd and put on a stick. And mushroom bruschetta. Now, mushroom is probably the only thing my kiddo doesn't really eat. I think she just doesn't like the texture. And we still, like, we don't remove it from things we're serving to her. And if you don't know this, if you have a small child, or you want to have a child in the future, or you deal with small children, it can take 100 exposures to a single food before a child really determines whether they like it or not. So many parents will do, like, a new food with their kid and go, well, they're not eating it, so they don't like it. Well, that's not necessarily the case. They're not liking it at this moment, but it seems to be pretty persistent all of a sudden with mushrooms. And she's actually picked it out of things on her own. Like, I'm never going to be like, if you don't want it, take it out. Like, she knows, we tell her what we make, and, you know. But anyway, so she ate 2 filet sandwiches and a lobster lollipop, which right there is more than my kid normally eats, like a regular day. And then, the appetizers came out. My husband and I shared a burrata salad, which she ate a nice chunk of. The 4 of us shared a crab cake, which, I'm not even exaggerating, was the biggest crab cake I've ever seen. It was so big. It was like, I was going to say it was bigger than my husband's palm, but that really doesn't help people when they don't know you. My husband has giant hands.
Hey, gorilla patties.
Gorilla patties. Like, just imagine you have, like, a stack of hockey pucks. Like, that's how big this was. And she ate, like, a third of that crab cake on her own. She had more of that crab cake than I did. What? It
was like the size of a disc.
It was huge. You guys, that probably had to be, like, 5-inch diameter. It was huge.
4-inch, yeah.
She was jamming on that, though. She loved that. And then we got... what else do we get as an appetizer?
Lobster tacos.
The lobster tacos, and she ate quite a bit of that as well. And then we didn't order her an entree. We were just like, well, she can eat some of ours if she wants anything, because I was like, there's no way this kid wants any more food. I was wrong. She still ate more food. My dad told us we needed to get the crab fried rice after we had already ordered potatoes and some mac and cheese. And, like, the waiter's like, we have a kids menu. And I'm like, you do? But I was like, nah, I'll just get her little bits of what we're eating. She did so good. She was, relatively speaking, very well behaved. I mean, relatively speaking.
She was only mean to us.
Yeah, she was mean to us. Her normal bedtime is 7:30, and the party didn't start till 7. And it was an hour and a half away from home. So we got there, and I was like, this is going to go one of 2 ways. And I was pleasantly surprised. Like, she was really, really loving. She was such the center of attention. I think that's why she did so well. And then when the party was over, you know, she fought it. She really fought it. Really, really, really fought it. We didn't get home till almost midnight. And she fell asleep in the car for a little bit and then perked back up. Tell me why this kid was up at like 7 a.m. the next day. But how are we on time? 34 minutes. If anybody was just looking and they're like, why did she put her hand there? Because I can't see the timer when it's white on a light background like this. You know? Anyway, so my husband if you guys don't know, my husband is the DaddaMonster. He customizes Funko Pops. All of his information is always listed down below. And we were trying to think of like a gift idea for my mom. You know, it was a pretty big birthday for my mom, and she was really sad because of COVID, she couldn't have like a big blowout. My dad, when he hit the same age, had a huge party, fully catered, and it just isn't possible with the way things are going right now. And I was really sad because my mom had called me, I guess, like the week before. She didn't know we were coming. It was a total surprise. And one of her friends had made a comment completely out of line, that she wasn't coming to the party, which my dad was the one hosting it. So she should have RSVP'd to my dad in the first place. But she made a comment about how irresponsible my parents were for doing this. And like, first of all, like, if you don't want to come, just say, I'm not going to be able to make it. You don't need to give a whole explanation. And to tell you the truth, I am super, super cautious about like what I'm doing, where I'm going, the amount of times I'm using hand sanitizer. I'm always wearing a mask when I'm out in public. Like, you know, and then she's like, and how dare you force your children to be a part of this? And my mom called me because she had no idea I was coming. And she's like, what is she talking about? And I was like, and I was trying to like play it off, but I could hear how hurt and upset my mom was. And she's like, nobody wants to spend my birthday with me. Everybody thinks I'm a burden. And I'm like, nobody thinks that, Mom. Nobody thinks that. And then I was like, yes, Mom, we're coming down. It was a total surprise. And she had no right to say anything. And of course, my mom in that moment was super, super hurt. And if you guys want to know a little bit about like who I am, like in real life, which is not very different than what you're getting right now. You just see more than hands. I am fiercely loyal, excuse me, to those that I love and care about. And it took everything in me to not contact my mom's friend, who is also her neighbor, and tell her, you broke my mother's heart and you were completely out of line. And I didn't, because not only are they really good friends, but they are also neighbors. And like, she's known my mom for 40 something years. And my parents go to their house and they have driveway parties. They literally just sit in chairs on driveways 6 feet apart or 10 feet apart from the next people so that they can all socialize, but do it safely. And I understand her hesitation with coming to my mom's party, but to make my mom feel bad about it just broke my heart. Like, my mom called me in tears, and like, I've seen my mom upset. It's not the first time I've ever seen my mom upset, but it was the first time I've seen my mom upset about something that was controllable, and then me not be able to do anything to help her. And as a daughter, it broke my heart because I didn't want to see my mom sad. I didn't want my mom's birthday to be ruined. I wanted my mom to have a fantastic birthday and to be excited for it. And, you know, after a couple days, my mom got over it and she was fine. And I did not reach out to her friend, because I didn't want to make things worse. But I said to my mom, just so you know, if she does something like that again, I absolutely will contact her. And my mom laughed and I was like, no, I'm serious.
What'd you also my place? Don't be scared of me.
Yeah. My husband used to always tell his coworkers and the people that worked under him, like, it's not me you have to worry about, it's my wife. Because if anybody ever did anything to jeopardize my husband's livelihood or his job, like, I would be the one that has something to say. And so it really upset me that my mom was so upset, you guys. So upset. Let me grab some water.
She shouldn't have had to deal with something like that because of her birthday.
No, she shouldn't have. And my dad was the one who sent out the invitations and said, like, regrets only to my father. And they didn't. But anyone who's curious, today's tumbler is a floral rose. It has a metal straw. And I don't like the metal straw. I have metal straws that I use regularly. I don't particularly like that metal straw. I smashed it into my tooth the other day, and you guys, let me tell you, that hurt like a bitch. Like a bitch. Anyway, so, the party was wonderful. I had said to my husband with insanely short notice, do you think we could make a pop of my mom for her birthday? And he's like, yeah. And I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like. And then I just gave him like creative reign to do what he wanted with it. My mom and I both have the same t-shirt from a small shop called Naked Mangoes. And it is, excuse me, this t-shirt that is hand screen printed. And it has a skull with rose. And it's like dripping. And I bought it for my mom, and she had said that it's like her favorite shirt. It's the most comfortable shirt she owns. She's even asked me for like another one. I think she might have 2 now. I could be wrong on that. But I got her.
I'm gonna take 45 minutes to relax.
Okay. You can do whatever you want. My husband is ditching us, you guys. I would say, do you want to take the monitor with you? But I know that when you said you want to relax. Anyway, so he did that and put her in that shirt with her leggings and her little Ugg boots. And my dad had just gotten her these heart-shaped diamond studs for her birthday as like her big birthday gift. And so we went to the store and got these tiny studs that he could use, and he basically pierced the ears of the pop and gave it earrings. And I showed it to my daughter, and I said, Briar, who's this? And she goes, that's Mimi. Without any hesitation, without no prompting, like we didn't tell her, oh, this is Mimi. Do you think it looks like Mimi? She knew right away. And you know, that was really sweet to see. And then the back of the box, we did a huge photo collage of my mom with her kids, with her grandkids. Just a really, really sweet. It was just very, very sweet. And I will throw the photo up here if I remember. And it was, you guys, I can't tell you, it was the perfect gift. My mom knew right away that it was her. She showed everyone in the room.
See someone's reaction.
Yeah.
Doing that.
My husband's been doing this now, like, professionally, if you will, for over a year, right?
15 months.
15 months. And that's the first time we've ever been able to give it to someone and actually, like, see them react. Now, I know if we'd gotten one for my dad, he'd probably been like, oh, that's cool, and then moved on. But my mom gets it. My mom, she knows what they are. She thinks they're cute. She thinks they're cool. And she knew right away that it was a Mimi Pop. And he personalized it. It had her name on it. It has a happy birthday on it. It has all the photos on it. He picked a color scheme. That's my mom's favorite colors. And it's one of those things, like, if you ever order a pop from him, he can do so many different things. And so many people are like, well, I don't know what to put on the box. What do you suggest? And this was perfect because I even said to him, like, do we want to do, like, cool facts about that date in history or what? He goes, why don't we just get a bunch of photos of your mom? And I was like, that's great. So we did, and she loved it. I can't even begin to tell you how much. My mom loved it. She walked around the room. Everyone wanted to see the box. They wanted to see the pop. They just wanted it. And, so that was super, super cool. And,
People trying to talk in business with them.
yeah, like one of my dad's, I think he's my dad's neighbor.
Yes.
Okay. He, as my dad says, is a mover and shaker, was trying to figure out how to, like, get Brian into, like, mass marketing, what he does. And he's like, I can't really do them, like, mass produce them because that takes away the customization. And also, like, if you get one of your best friend, I don't think that somebody wants 50, 100, 200 of their best friend. It only works for like corporate orders or, things like that, which he's not getting those orders. Honestly, like a corporation did reach out to him and they wanted 200 pops made. And then I think that they really didn't realize that oh, you're still charging us the same amount per pop, which yes, he would have had to put all other orders on hold, which by the way, have you come up with a date for holiday?
Hey Google, what's 64? Oh shoot.
Okay, so we are gonna say if you want a holiday, okay, if you want a holiday order, Christmas, Hanukkah. Actually, if you want one for Hanukkah, you probably already needed to book that. You're fine. Hanukkah this year, in case anyone is curious, is November 28th. So
October 1st, and then I'm gonna do an express free.
Okay, so if you want an order to be guaranteed to be shipped by December 1st, or whatever that day is,
I
think
it is December.
You need to get all of your orders in by October 1st, and people are failing to understand. This is something that I'm going to just put this out into the universe. It's not just for my husband's business. If somebody says my turnaround time is X amount of weeks, Brian's current turnaround time is 8 to 10 weeks. And they go, I'll come back when you're less busy. There is going to be no time that they're less busy. If you come back in 6 weeks and go, hey, I want to get that pop now, that 8 to 10 week turnaround time might be 10 to 12 weeks. It might still be 8 to 10 weeks, but then you've waited 6 weeks. If you want something, especially if it's handmade or personally crafted, get it sooner than you think you need it, honestly. So if you guys are curious and you want to get a DaddaMonster Customs pop figure for the holiday season, contact him now. Get those orders in. Because he is going to have to shut off orders, and then he'll be able to take a couple rush orders, but there's going to be an additional, I think he said $50 fee. So yeah. Anyway, that is that. My parents had a fantastic time. It was great to see my brother. My daughter had a fantastic time. My mom's, she's a good friend of my mom and dad, but they used to live, they were neighbors. And I'm surprised that she didn't actually take my daughter home. I legit thought she was going to. She was fantastic with her. She has a little grandson that is, I think, 2. And, you guys, it was wonderful. It was so nice to have those moments of normalcy again and to feel like things could get back to normal again, which look, if you guys have been here for any length of time, you already know how I feel about this. But the longer we as a society fight against bettering ourselves as a society, the longer we're going to have to deal with lockdowns and shutdowns and increases in cases. And I'm not really here to talk about that, but I miss being able to safely and freely see my family and my friends and things like that. And it's very hard as a parent to watch, knowing that my child can't do all the things she should be able to do because other people are behaving selfishly. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But it's not up for a debate. So, how are we on time? All right. But 48 minutes in. There's so much color blocking in this section, but it's so deep. You guys can't even see how high up I'm working. I have let's see. This is a 17 centimeter by 24 centimeter section. Ooh, I just put my tape measure right down on the glue. And I know what you're thinking. Why do you have a tape measure? I just filmed a bunch of unboxings. So anyway, speaking of unboxings, I'm really excited. You guys, I am going to be part of a collab for TSA. It is hashtag DP Monster Mash. I will leave any information I can in the description, but your best bet is to just follow along on Instagram, because not everything has been fully announced and released as of yet. I'm incredibly honored that I was asked to participate in a collab. It is being hosted by Crafting Journey and DP Addiction Adventures. It will be on both Instagram and YouTube. And then there will also be Wolfpack, Nana of Seven Crafts, Crafts with Crashly, myself. I think that's it. And it is a theme that works for Drills and Chills as well. So if you have a canvas that works for both, you can absolutely participate. But there will be a new canvas debuting, Crafting Journey on YouTube, which I will link her. Will be unboxing it. And once that gets unboxed and published, then the painting will go live for purchase. And I can tell you, it is super, super cute. It is a very manageable size. It is a 50 by 50, 40 by 50, 50 by 50. So a little bit bigger than, you know, a snack size canvas, but still something that's not super huge, but pretty manageable. And it's also great if you are more of a beginner diamond painter, because it's one that will challenge you enough but not overwhelm you. Because I remember as a beginner diamond painter doing a very large canvas and being like, holy crap. And I know that a lot of people who've been doing this for an extended period of time think it's no big deal to work on a big canvas now, but we all started somewhere. So this is really, really sweet. I'm really excited that I was asked to be a part of it. So I will probably be doing videos on both, but I know I do a lot on Instagram, and I think I will definitely do at least, depending on how long it takes me to do the canvas, of course, I will do a couple Paint With Me lives on Instagram. And it'll be great because if you guys pick up the canvas too, you can paint alongside with us. And I'm really excited. I hope that you guys love the canvas as much as I do. It is so freaking cute, you guys. So cute. And it is perfect. I have a little monster of my own. I think she's going to love it. I'll probably get a small poster frame from like Walmart, one of those inexpensive frames, and we will hang it up as some Halloween decor, or keep it up forever because I don't know. You know? Are you guys people? I love like spooky season. I love Halloween everything. I love pumpkin everything. I'm so ready. Give me cooler temps and pumpkins and apple cider and all of that. Flannels, campfires. I love all of it, you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for fall this year. We're going to pick pumpkins. We're going to go probably pick some apples. And like, I love, these are things that we can do socially distanced and feel confident that we're doing something fun as a family activity. But, oh, I totally forgot to tell you guys. On Sunday, before we went down to the party, this is like the biggest highlight of my week, and I totally didn't even talk about it. My daughter and I had a mommy and me morning because my husband needed to get some more work done. So if you guys don't know, he creates the boxes. He has a template and he changes them up with each pop he does. Perfect, fine. So he had a couple of orders that he had to fulfill, or it's near their time to be fulfilled. And he was going to get those boxes printed, but really the only one that was time sensitive was my mom's. So he went and the printer was down. So like that threw him for a loop. But anyway, Sunday morning, I said, well, why don't I just take her out of the house for a little bit? you can get all the work done that you need to, finishing up more of these boxes so you can get them all printed at the same time. And I'll take her and I'll keep her out of your hair. Because we've done it before where he brings his computer downstairs and he works on it. Because he doesn't like to spend that time working and taking time away from her when she's awake. Like right now she's awake, but it's her nap time. So anyway, so I took her out to a little creperie and we had crepes for breakfast. And it was the first time she'd ever had a crepe. And it was so funny. We got a sweet crepe and a savory crepe. And if you can take one guess which one she liked more, we got one with Nutella and strawberries. And let me tell you, the second that hit her lips, oh, I really like this. Her eyes lit up. They were as big as saucers. It was so much fun. And I've mentioned it before. I live near an amusement park. And I totally didn't even think, like, Sunday morning breakfast, it was crazy downtown. Every restaurant had a huge wait, and I will not be doing that again on a Sunday morning or any weekend morning during the season again because it was crazy. But we did that, and then we went to the nursery and we picked up a couple terracotta plants or pots. Planters? Are they called planters or pots? I feel like planters are the ones you hang. I am so not up on my lingo. So if somebody knows and I'm wrong, Sandra, if you're watching this, correct me. But anyway, we got some terracotta planters, Jesus, whatever. The things you put the plants in. And we are going to paint them and decorate them together as like a fun activity. And then I picked up a Chinese money plant, which if you've never seen them, they almost look like little lily pads. I can't speak. The leaves, it's like stems and then like flat leaves. It's really cute. And it's supposed to be a pretty simple plant. So I'm hoping that I can keep that one alive. But I noticed when we got it, there was an itty bitty one growing in the pot. So when we take it out of the nursery pot to repot it, I'm going to put that little one in its own little pot for Briar so that she can help mommy take care of it and have pride in this is Briar's plant. Oh, I don't know what she has. That did not sound good. And then I'll have mine. And so if you guys are planning on doing something like that, you think it sounds like a cool activity to do, make sure that you are not using water-based paint or like, kids-friendly Crayola stuff, because as soon as you water those plants, it will come right off. Or you can seal it. My husband has sealant because of his pops. So we're going to see if we have good oil paints. If not, we'll just seal it. But I'm excited. That was fun. And then I took her and we got some milk. She loves like going to the grocery store now. But while we were there, I let her look at the flowers because she always wants flowers everywhere we go. And I can't keep flowers alive. And she saw bouquets and she said, "Ooh, I really like this. Can I get one for Mimi?" So I said, sure. And she picked out a beautiful bouquet, which my mom said she loved. And it was so sweet, you guys. My kiddo, I haven't had those moments with her in so long. Like, we got our nails done, and that was a lot of fun. But for a kid who spent the first 2.5 years of her life with mommy every single day, we don't have those moments the way we used to. And we're hoping we can have more of those moments, and obviously daddy-daughter moments as well. And it's just been really lovely. She's got such a personality. It's never ending, the personality. And we have decided we're going to Baltimore. My husband is a huge Baltimore Orioles fan. There is a game that he wants to go to. It is the Orioles-Angels game. He originally wanted to go because he wanted to see Mike Trout play, but it looks like Mike Trout will not be back by then. If you guys don't care about baseball, sorry. But we are going to take her to go to the Baltimore Aquarium, which she has been to before. And we're going to take her to the Science Museum, which we didn't take her to the last time we went to Baltimore because she was still too little really to, you know, enjoy it. And I'm excited. That'll probably be like our last big hurrah of, you know, summer before school starts. Even though my kid's not going to school, which, you know, I have thoughts on that. And it kind of bums me out, you guys. I was really hoping that we wouldn't have gotten waitlisted, that we would have gotten in, but, you know, I guess being waitlisted is better than being denied, so. But yeah, so it was a very eventful week, and I am happy that we are, like, home relaxing right now, because, like I said, it's been pretty chaotic. There's been so much going on between Briar having her play date, and then my mom's party, and the stuff with the skating, and then it's just been busy. You know, I'm ready for things to slow down a little bit. It's also been insanely humid here. Like this morning, it was 70, I think it was 77 degrees, but it was like 90% humidity. And I was like, I would rather have that 95 degree, like dry heat than this. Because it's just gross. So if you live somewhere that doesn't have humidity and you're going 77 degrees, that's not hot. You're right. It's not hot. But 77 with a lot of humidity is insane. My child. You guys, I don't know if what she's doing because I can't look on the monitor while I'm filming because it's like an app on our phone. But oh my God, I can feel my ceiling. Her ceiling is my floor. I can feel it shaking, and my kid's only 28 pounds. My husband jokes and says she carries all of her weight in her feet. So, but I think this might be a good place to stop. I am done with this color. We got a lot done. A lot done, you guys. So, that's all I've got for this one. Again, I will leave all the information for the TSA sponsored event, hashtag DP Monster Mash. Keep your eyes out for a tag video coming soon. Who knows who I will tag? Will it be you? You don't know. You'll find out. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it 2 thumbs up. 1 real life, 1 virtual. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Come, join the Sparkle Squad. And while you're there, hit that notification bell. I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I record while my tiny human is sleeping, or like today, sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys!